Good morning, people. I'm getting situated here, getting everything set up so we can talk. I hope everyone is having a good day. I wish I could get rid of that fan, but oh well. There it is. Good morning. So glad to see you're here. We have some people. If you could post in the comments your name so I can see who else here. I'm glad you have stopped by. I'm Joyce Glass, the Write Coach, and I help writers and speakers through the book writing process. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, the writing process. It is a process. It does take some time to get through, and I am glad all of you have joined to figure out the writing process with me. So I wanted, for those joining in real quick, I am Joyce Glass, the Write Coach, and today is Writer Wednesday, and I'm going to be talking about the write process, the writing process, a process of writing a book, a blog post, a talk, for if you speak. All of those have a similar process to them. So good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Texas Blue Daisy, that is Mary, is that right? I'm sorry, I always forget your name. But thank you for coming, and if you could put in the comments your name so I can remember to call you by the right Mary. Okay, yes, thank you. So I did remember. Yay! I am so glad that I remembered right. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mary, and everyone else. And like I said, this is Writer Wednesday, and we're going to talk about the writing process. And the first thing that I want to talk about with the writing process is there is steps that you can take. And I've been working with some people recently, and I've had a couple people say, you know, I sit down to write, and I just don't even know where to begin. And the best thing is to have a framework to start with. Just like when a builder builds a house, he has blueprints, and then he sets up a frame for the house. We need to do the same thing with our writing. We need to set up a framework. And when you have that framework, it makes it easier because you have a foundation to go on, and then you can build on top of that foundation what you want to say. And it makes your work stronger, and it makes it better. So that is what you want to do, is you want to be able to, and if you hear noises in my house, there's people working on a bathroom right over here. They're about to finish it up today, yay. So if you hear strange noises coming from behind me, that is what that is. And that's good news, because that means they're getting it done. So, but like I was saying, speaking of builders, when you have a framework for your work, then you will be able to write better. You'll have a foundation for your writing. And I wanted to let you know, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am hosting a webinar called The Write Life, 6 Steps to the Best Book Ever. And we're going to talk about a few of those steps today, but I'm going to go in great detail next Tuesday in the webinar. So if you want to watch or want to sign up for the webinar, you can. I've got it posted on a couple places on Facebook, so if you're friends with me on Facebook, I don't think I've posted it on Twitter yet. I may have. I need to do that. Or you can go to joyceglass.org, joyceglass.org/best book ever, and that will take you to the sign up page. Again, if anybody can write that down in the comments, that would be great, and post it up there. But it's joyceglass.org/best book ever if you want to sign up for the Write Life webinar that I'm doing next week, which is 6 steps to the best book ever. But back to our framework. So a framework is simply some form of an outline. I have a special outline that I use, that I created, that helps me. Formal outlines intimidated me, and I didn't like them. They didn't help me with my creativity. And I created this other outline that I'm going to give to you at the webinar that helps me with the step-by-step of getting through the writing process. Whether you're going to do a blog post, a book, a chapter in the book, a talk, this same outline works for every one of those things. And so what that helps you do is then you get clarity and you get wisdom, vision for what you want to write. So it makes sense. I mean, have you ever read something and it kind of goes here and there, and you get done and you're like, so what's the point? Or what am I supposed to do? Or there was so much information, it was too confusing to even know where to start. And that's what a framework does, is it helps you get that down. So who all do I have here this morning? I see it says 20 viewers. If you can put your name in the comments and let me know who all's here. I know Mary's here. If anybody else is here, I'd love for you to introduce yourself. For those who maybe just joined, I'm Joyce Glass, the Write Coach, and this is Writer Wednesday, and we're talking about the writing process. So part of the process is getting a framework and creating that, and I'm going to go, like I said, in detail on that next week in my webinar if you want to sign up for that. It is a free webinar. The next thing is you just need to write. You need to set up a time that you write and make a commitment. If you're working on a book, either make a word commitment, I'm going to do 500 words a day, 1,000 words a day, whatever it is, 5,000 for the week, and then break it down by day. If you want to do 1,000 a week, how many days a week are you going to write, and how many times are you going to, how long are you going to write each day? Do you have 30 minutes? Do you have an hour? Do you have 2 hours? How much time do you have to write? And that gives yourself commitment. And I was talking with someone yesterday, and she admitted, she goes, I have not committed to this project. I know I want to do it for 3 years. I've known I wanted to do it, and I haven't made a commitment to it. And you do have to make that commitment to yourself, because, you're not on a time clock. You're not, if you don't have a contract with a traditional publisher, you don't have that pressure to get it done. So the best way to get it done is set a deadline for yourself. And one of the ways that helped me is I actually went and started sending my first book out to my email list. I had a blog, and I started sending it out to my email list. Now talk about pressure. That put the pressure on, and I actually got the book done because I was diligent and intentional, and I did not want them to miss a week. It was a 12-week devotional, so I got about 7 weeks ahead. And if you're doing chapters, you could send a chapter out a week. That way it would keep people interested. But I did that, and I couldn't, it kept me motivated, because I didn't want them to miss out on that next week. What if they get to week 7 and then week 8 doesn't come for a week or 2? They're going to be confused, and they'll get lost and disinterested because, okay, week 8 is not here, so I guess that we're done. And it may have not made sense because that was about the middle of the book or towards the end, So you don't want to do that, but you want to make a commitment that you can keep, and that will put pressure on you to get the project done. You do want to send it out to people because you want to get their feedback. Whether you're on a traditional publish or you are going to self-publish, you want people's feedback on what you've written. So you want to have a framework. You want to make sure you set a time that you are writing every day, and you want to make a commitment to yourself. And the best way to put some pressure on yourself is sending it out to people so that you have that deadline in your head. Okay, I need to have chapter 4 done by, June 30th so that I can have it ready to send out to everybody. So you want to do that. You want to also, in your writing, you want to inspire people with stories, with humor. That's what makes it fun. I mean, who doesn't like to laugh, right? There's all kinds of funny things. I mean, that's why a lot of us on social media love some things about social media, is because there's lots of funnies that you can read and see, funny pictures, funny videos, funny quotes, you know, all of that. The other thing that you want to continue to do is educate yourself. Read books about writing. Watch videos about writing. Go to webinars about writing, like next week. You may need coaching, and that's part of what I do, is I coach writers and speakers through the book writing process. You can see if I'm a fit for you, or you may find someone else that might be a better fit for you. But the thing is, you are being proactive about your writing career. You are about working on getting this process done. And that's what you want to do. You want to read, take classes, get coaching, everything that you can do to build your career up. Now think about this. When someone's an Olympic athlete or a pro athlete, do they ever stop training when they get to, like when football players get to the NFL? Do they stop training and because, hey, I'm in the NFL? No, they continue to train. They continue to have coaches. Some of them have personal trainers that help them with specific areas of their life. Some of them do coaching. I'm in a program called the 90-Day Year, and Todd Herman used to coach, and he may still coach pro athletes and Olympic athletes. He helped them with their mindset and their approach to getting better. There is a process with everything, and the only way to get better at anything is to continue to educate yourself. Continue to have someone push you a little harder and a little harder. And sometimes we're, you know, our human nature wants comfort. It wants what's easy. And, you know, anything worth having, as we all know, is not easy. So you have to take seriously. If you want to be a writer, you need to take it seriously. You need to be professional about it. You need to be working on it every day. And you can take weekends off if you'd like, but you know what I mean. You need to keep working on it every day. So professionals are always seeking to be better by education, classes, reading, whatever may be the case. Post in the comments if y'all had any classes that you take, that you've done, Mary or anybody else out there. Are there any classes that you've taken for writing that help you or that you like to do? Let me know. I would love to hear what other people have done. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with you is you want to strive for excellence, not perfection. As you get your work done, you've had this framework, maybe you've got some coaching, and you read and you've worked through your manuscript, whether it be a blog post or a complete book, and you've gone through and you've had an editor edit it for you. You want to strive for excellence, and you want to review your work yourself, and is it saying what you want it to say, how you want to say it? And that's where having some beta readers, you know, or a launch group is a really good idea. And then you can have others review your work. So you want to go through it multiple times to help with that process. So the two main things that I always tell people, and you're going to hear this on the webinar too, is you need to pay for an editor, and you need to have a designer, a graphic designer, create the front of your book. That is the presentation of your book. That's what's going to grab people's attention. And you want it to look professional and not like something you just created on your computer and threw together some pictures and put a little font on it. You want it to be professional, done by somebody professional. And so that is why it's important to do that. And I am so happy that you came today. I wanted to remind you one more time, I'm doing the Write Life webinar next week. It's about the 6 steps to the best book ever. And you can sign up for it at joyceglass.org/best book ever. Or you can find it on Facebook and Twitter if you're friends with me and or following me on Twitter. and you can find the link there to sign up for the webinar. It's going to be 8 p.m. next Tuesday night, Eastern Standard Time. There will be a replay available, but I would love for you to come live because I want you to come with your questions, and we're going to dive deeper into the framework. How do you set up a framework when you get to that screen and you're wondering, you know, you have these ideas of what you want to write, but you're not sure how to formulate them and put them into words that are going to be cohesive, you know, through the whole book or through the whole blog post, whatever it is you're working on. That is what I'm going to help you with, is making that whole thing cohesive. And the writer's framework does that. And that's what I'm going to teach next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have any questions, please feel free to message me on either Facebook or Twitter. And I look forward to seeing you for the next Writer Wednesday. But today, we've talked about the writing process. So remember, the first part of the process is creating a framework. The next part of the process is being consistent and committed time, setting goals for yourself. And then the last part that we talked about was reviewing your work and having others review your work, because you want to strive for excellence. You just don't want to throw something out there into the world. You want it to be professional. You want it to be your best work. And that's what I help writers do. I help them produce their best work. You have great ideas and great writing abilities, but maybe you're not sure how to go through all the process, and that's what I'm here to help you do. And I just thank you for being here for Writer Wednesday, and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday and next Tuesday night at the webinar.